Hello, my name is Paul Reevy. I work with the Helix Way. We are one of the delivery partners on Innovate UK's ICURe programme. So what I want to do is introduce the current evolution of the ICURe programme. Originally, ICURe was just a bootcamp with a 12-week discovery programme, but it has evolved significantly into 4 separate products and offerings. So what has happened? Well, over a number of years, ICURe came from an initial government recommendation that we should do more with the UK research budget and help translate that into commercial entities. This basically began with a Westminster committee in 2014 actually saying, look, there's a certain amount of investment which we could do more with, and that evolved into a recommendation to spin out a programme to help university research teams create commercial enterprises, which now is known as the ICURe programme. So what has happened over the years is that it's been demonstrated that university research teams find themselves at various stages along a pipeline of development, from the earliest stage where early career researchers or entrepreneurial leads, depending upon their situation, actually think, yeah, I'm generally interested in a career in entrepreneurship, and perhaps the primary scientific advisor, PSA, or sometimes PI, says, look, I'd like some of my team to actually consider this as an option. And that has led to an early stage intervention, which we called Engage. The second stage is where the team say, look, we're at very early stages, but we think we've got the basis of some commercial proposition, but we are not able to make a commitment to a long-term programme. And that has evolved into what we describe as Discover. Finally, there are the last 2 stages. The first of those 2 stages is what would have traditionally been called the ICURe programme. That is a 4-day bootcamp with a 12-week market discovery programme, followed up by a final pitch and presentation for a recommendation or otherwise to move forward. And that now is complemented by a set of interventions at the back end of that programme called Exploit, which helps those teams recommended for either spin-out or license to move forward and actually materialise those recommendations. So this graphic is quite small, so I don't expect you to read it, but the full graphic is on the website. It gives you a full breakdown of the programmes, but what I'm going to do now is give you some short explanation of each programme as we go along. So the first of the interventions is the Engage programme. Engage is really targeted at individuals who are in an academic setting. That could be a university, but of course it could also be a research institute or some similar type of organisation. And what we really want you guys to think about is entrepreneurship generally an option for me? It doesn't mean you have to go on to the full ICURe programme, but it means that you can consider ICURe or entrepreneurship as a career generally. And sometimes that leads you into industrial placements, sometimes it could lead you to KTP, and of course sometimes it could lead you to ICURe. We're happy with either direction, provided we increase the career opportunity for people who participate in ICURe generally. Then moving forward from Engage, we have the Discover programme. Discover is a programme which is an early stage intervention for university research teams. You could find yourself at an embryonic stage whereby you realise you've got something which is exciting in terms of science, and you may want to just investigate whether or not the market for your perceived product or service is actually interested or not. You may not have a lot of time to commit to it, you may not have a lot of resource to commit to it, and if that's the circumstance, then Discover's perfect. It is a part-time 6 to 8 week programme with 2 days of initial training to help you understand the basic commercialisation concepts, and then you'll get a panel recommendation as to the best stage that you can move to after that recommendation stage. You'll get £2,500 in total to help you with that journey, but as you can see, it doesn't require a huge amount of commitment, but can leave you very well informed as to what the next stage is. So that effectively is the Discover programme. We have found in the past that projects that engage and discover, allow themselves the breathing space and the understanding to decide whether they should move forward onto the full explore and exploit phases, or whether it's just not for them in the future. So the next stage, and I think this is where most people who hear about the ICURe program, they would recognize ICURe really as being ICURe Explore. So let me just explain a little bit more about ICURe Explore. It's a full program. As you can see, it really is a much more involved type of program than the Discover program. It is a full-time program for an EL/ECR, and entrepreneurial leads will be asked to do a 4-day boot camp along with their primary scientific advisor, PSA, or primary investigator. So those two people are critical to the program, and they hopefully will move forward with the TTO and a business advisor on that 4-day boot camp to define what the business model should be. But then the entrepreneurial lead will go on a full 12-week market discovery program. That's a full-time program that is fully funded by Innovate UK. And as you can see from the slide that's provided here, there's a substantial package for both the market discovery element and the salary support element to support the entrepreneurial lead's salary over that period of time. At the end of the program, you will see that the program actually then asks you to do a presentation to a panel. That panel will make a recommendation as to whether you should follow a commercialization route, and there are two basic commercialization routes that you can follow. One of spinning out a company from the university itself, and the second is to pursue a license option. So at that stage, you will have received a recommendation. In some cases, it's not right for you to move forward. The commercial opportunity isn't there. But if you have received one of those two commercial opportunities, now the program offers you a further stage of support, and that support is known as the ICURe Exploit phase. So in very simple terms, we now offer a package of support which helps you understand whether you are ready to spin out a company or not, and secondly, whether you are in a position to start making an application for grant funding to Innovate UK to actually take undiluted government grant funding to start up an enterprise. So the two stages are known as spin-out readiness and business readiness. And you can also then, after the stage whereby you've received some grant funding, move forward to further support, perhaps with the Pioneer Group, who run a biomedical catalyst, and a large percentage of ICURe projects usually qualify for that, or get some marketing intervention with the Kickstart program run by Grand Scale. So, I mean, the 12-week program is well broken down with more detail on the website. You'll see a particular slide here which extracts just the exploit phase program, and you can see there the stages are broken down into spin-out readiness, business readiness, and investor readiness. So that support will be ongoing for you. And then finally, for those who are recommended just for license, there is a license readiness support package as well. So in terms of moving forward then, and let's assume you have got onto the exploit phase of the program, you will see from this extract from the actual overview of the program that this effectively breaks down into a 12-week program. But this 12-week program has a number of different phases whereby we will assess your readiness to actually start a business, which sometimes involves quite logistical issues such as, have you got a bank account and how long will it take you to get a bank account? Have you organised the equity in the business, and have you got the IP assigned from university? Things that are seemingly quite simple but actually can be quite complicated. So that's one element. The second stage is a business readiness stage, which is where the ICURe team that you're working with will help you apply for grant funding, and that grant funding is undiluted funding, and it's an enormous help for you starting off your business. But then there are other stages. Should you get your grant funding, There's further support through the Pioneer Group and also through the Kickstart program, which is run by Grand Scale. For those of you who are just moving towards license, there's a specific package for licensing support to help you and your university move forward to a license package. So, in terms of rounding out the Exploit program, the intention here is that every team that gets onto Exploit from now on has a complete suite of support, and those who are moving forward to just license get a support package to help you with intellectual property defense strategies, and also helping you with negotiation strategies with potential licensees. So hopefully you can see that the ICURe program is more than just a very effective 12-week market discovery program. It is now a complete range of programs. This is the end of the session. Hopefully you've enjoyed this introduction, and I would ask you, if you've got more questions, please do visit the frequently asked questions part of the website, or if you've got a specific question, please don't be afraid to email us at the info@ICURe email address. Thank you very much.